We are going to start. Erna, can we start? Are we in line with the constitution of LIASA?
We can start, Moses. I don't know, because it's open to everybody. So the people that are attending at the moment, I don't know. I don't think all of them are Free State members, but there's no
Okay.
important decisions that we need to take. So I think let's go.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome, colleagues, and welcome everybody, including our guest speaker. I want to welcome you. I believe that we are going to have a very fruitful and informative branch meeting. And then I also want to indicate to you that we call this meeting with a view to celebrate World Book Day, which was celebrated on the 23rd of April, 2024. So on that note, you are all welcomed and your contribution is highly appreciated. Then item number 2, attendance and apologies, Erna.
I only received an apology from Zuki Maya. She is at another urgent meeting, so she sent her apology.
Okay. Anybody from, I want to say anybody who received any apology from anybody, if present, you can just indicate that apology. If not, we proceed. And then item number 3, personalia. Do we have any personalia, any birthdays, and any whatevers? Over to you, Erna, if you have anything.
Nothing has come to my attention at this stage. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody, any personalia from your respective space? Thank you. No, nothing. Then item number 4, setting the agenda. Do we have anything that perhaps we can add to the agenda? If there is anything, you can just highlight it for purposes of capturing it. If there is anything. Oh, no, nothing. Excuse me, Erna, you will assist me to check the chat box as well. I might be not aware if there's anything. Please assist me in that regard. And then, okay, thank you. And then item number 5, minutes of the 19th of March. And I'm going to ask you to share them if possible. If not, I can try to share them. Can you share, or I should share them?
I'll appreciate if you can share, please, Moses. I'll appreciate that if you can share.
Oh, all right, just a minute. I'm sharing. The minutes of the 19th of March. Can you see them on my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. I'm tempted to believe that we went through the minutes, so I'm just going to ask for anything page by page that that needs our attention. Anything on page 1? Anything on page 2? Anything on page 3? Thank you very much. There is nothing, so I'm going to stop sharing and then so that I can share the agenda. And whilst I'm busy with the agenda, can I have somebody, the mover and the adopter, that the meeting is a true reflection of what transpired on the 19th of March? People who attended, can I have an indication from you? Remember, if you are not in attendance, you cannot either second or propose. Can I have somebody who propose and somebody who seconds?
Chairperson Matilda here. I propose.
Okay, thank you, Matilda. And who seconds? We need a seconder, colleagues, in order to move on.
As long I second.
Oh. Okay, thanks, Ndate Zungu, for seconding. So, colleagues, we go to item 5.2, matters arising. Oh. Secretary, do I have to share the minutes or do you have anything from the meeting of the 19th of March? Anything that needs our agent attention from that?
No, I don't have anything coming from that minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Colleagues, now we move to item number 6, which is the chairperson's message. Colleagues, I just want to thank everybody from the time when LIASA Free State branch was established. I think I'm not sure when, but I became the first member of LIASA in 1998 when I started working in the Free State. And then I want to thank everybody because everybody played a very crucial role towards making LIASA Free State branch a branch of choice within LIASA. We received numerous awards during LIASA conference. We held several workshops and meetings. So we all contributed. I'm just saying this because next month on the 20th, we are no longer going to have Free State LIASA. So I'm scoring a goal before the game starts. I want to thank everybody, including Prudy as well. I think maybe she forgot me. She played a very crucial role. I remember when we merged with them, we held several meetings, CUT, Vista, and takeoffs. So there's a crucial role that she played, and everybody as well, including all the chairpersons and all the BECs, all of us as a team, we played a crucial role. And I want to share an email from the electoral team. Just a minute, colleagues. I just want to share that email. It is the only message that I have, which I want to share with everybody. Just a minute. Where it is now. Oh my God. I did open it, but I will get it just a minute. Yes. Can you see the screen?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. Okay. I think we can see it. Can we see it, colleagues? There is this email which has been sent by the electoral team, which is Laila Vahid and Mr. Marupini Ramabina, wherein all members of LIASA are requested to nominate members of the board. And then the only vacant positions are these ones highlighted in bold. That is the president-elect and the 5 sector portfolios representing the public and community libraries, the academic and research libraries, the school libraries, special libraries, and LIS. And then colleagues, just below, there's a timelines. On the 19th of March, the appointment of electoral officer in terms of Rule 0.5 of LIASA Constitution, and 31st March, the closing of the voters' roll in terms of Rule 4.6. Then 22nd of April, electoral officer, call for nominations forms for office bearers. Right below this timeline, there are forms, in which case you want to nominate anybody for any sector. And then on the 8th of May, the closing date for the nominations. And then on the 10th of May, electoral officer voting opens using online voting system in terms of Rule 4.9 of LIASA Constitution. And then on the 19th of May, the ballot closes at 12 o'clock in terms of Rule 4.11. And then on the 20th of May, we will be having LIASA special general meeting. This is where the new board, after that SGM will kick in and everything falls off. All the branches will fall off. LIASA will now be governed by the board. And colleagues, I just want to ask you, please, just fundraise anybody for whatever portfolio, but the person must be within that sector. For an example, I'm in academic and research libraries. I cannot be nominated. I cannot be nominated in the special libraries. I must be nominated in my specific sector. Let us ensure that we adhere to all the timelines as stipulated by the electoral team. And then let us support our professional body by participating in whatever that they ask us to actually participate. And then on that note, I want to thank you. I only had this item that I wanted to share with the rest of LIASA Free State branch members. And on that note, I want to thank you. I'm going to stop sharing this and I will show the agenda again, unless if there's any question to what was just projected now. You can just ask any question. If we have the answer, we will answer. If not, we will refer your question to the relevant people that can answer your question. A minute, colleagues, I want to go back to the agenda. Yes, the agenda is coming. So we are done with item. Is this the right? Is this the correct minute? Yes. Is this the correct agenda, Erna? Yes.
That's correct, yes. There was
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. There was a question from Julius McKenzie does the nomination process show us who has been nominated for a specific sector?
I don't think so. I don't think we will see now. There comes a time when the electoral committee will send all the nominated people with a view of voting, but for now we are not aware. Thank you. And then on 6.2, the membership secretary status report. I think Zuki has given you something, Erna, to report on.
Yes, thank you. Zuki asked me just to report on the status at the moment, or rather as on the 11th of April, we had 89 paid-up members. In this past period that we are now reporting on, there were 5 new members, and then also 4 members that came in from other provinces or other branches, and then 2 of our members also left the Free State branch. That left us then with 89 paid-up members. Just want to thank everybody that has renewed or that has joined LIASA.
Yes, thank you very much. And then we go to item number 7. On this item, I'm going to hand over to Erna to introduce Trudy. Over to you, Erna.
Thank you very much. Yes, you mentioned that you know Trudy for a long time. I also know her for many, many years. I just want to make sure if she's in at the moment. Trudy, are you in?
Ek is hier, Erna.
Okay, dankie Trudy. Thank you, Trudy. Okay, then a short background or CV of Trudy Venter. She was born and bred in the Butuli district and matriculated there in 1967. She obtained her BA at UFS, or rather at that time it was still UOFS, as well as her honours in history. She started her working career at the Free State Provincial Administration, the Library and Archive section. She did inter alia classification, cataloguing, and also book selection. She loved to work and started studying B-Bibble and later obtained also B-Bibble honours. After 18 years with the provincial administration, she moved to the UFS library as an information officer, and later on she became head of 3 sub-branches. She started M-Bibble, specializing in medical information. She wanted to provide information to rural doctors and patients. 19 years ago, she took an early pension and moved back to the place of her heart, Butuli, where she is still busy gathering and providing information. It seems that Trudy will never rest. Trudy, we are very honored to have you here with us for the meeting of today, and we are glad that we can connect with you through Zoom. Otherwise, perhaps we will not have a speaker because I hear that you also have some problems the past few weeks. But thank you very much for your time that you availed to us, and then it's over to you.
Thank you, Erna, and thank you for everyone who will listen to me, because I'm long out of the profession, but I try to do things. And now can you see me? And can you see the things I want to show you?
At the moment, there's nothing.
Yes. It was because I never stopped sharing, but I stopped sharing. Something must appear now.
Okay, thank you.
We don't see anything yet.
And it said to me on the screen, you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Yes, but no, I stopped. Oh, maybe I stopped. I thought it's mine. Apologies. What must I do so that it comes again?
Perhaps we can just ask if Apalele is in, if he can please assist us. Apalele, are you here?
Yes, Erna, I'm here, but I don't have the documents with me.
Okay, so will you be able to share?
Yes, Erna, please share, send them to me.
Trudy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. But
I don't
can't-
know if you've heard from Apalele. He's now our officer in the national office in Pretoria.
Yeah.
That is helping us with the Zoom. He said if you can share, if you can't share yours, you can send your document to him on email, and then he will try to put it on.
No, I
No,
won't do
just
that. I have a video icon here on the left side. Which must I press that? There is a. It is now a red mark through it.
Apalele, can you perhaps take her through the steps? Because from my side, I can see share screen, but I don't see her screen.
But you can see me.
I can't see you. Let me try this.
Okay, I was asked to start your video. Now I click on start my video.
Okay, do you see share screen below on the menu
No,
bar?
no, no.
Trudy, the share screen is right at the bottom of your screen. There it says participants, share screen, chat,
Share.
record.
Okay. Must I
So you must click on that share
that
screen.
share?
That
Okay. I share
that
on it. Yeah. Yeah.
daai pyltjie.
Yes, I did it. And now the screen, the entire screen. Are you
Okay,
there?
click on, yes, click on share. There's share again on your right at the bottom
Must-
of the small screen you see. Click on that share button as well.
Is
Do
it
you
that
see it?
it is on the very top of at the very bottom
Of the small screen you have on top of the face of the screen face.
on the left hand side. Yeah. Must I press on that
Yes.
entire screen on the screen?
Yes, you can press on that as well.
Yeah. And
And then share.
then share. The host has asked you to share your video. Start my video. Must I press that? Because I do not have a video. I'm speaking.
Okay, we see your screen now,
Your
yeah.
screen. You can go to the document you are presenting on.
I only have a physical document in my hand.
What is it that you want to screen that you want to show us?
I
Trudy?
want to show you some things from my book, but don't let us waste any more time. Let me just talk.
The things that you want to show us from your book, is it a document on your computer?
And no. It is a physical book here in my hands.
Oh, okay. So it's not a in video. What do you call it? In format that you can click on and it will open. So okay, no, then you will not be able to do that. No.
Okay. So can I just proceed to speak?
Yeah. Thanks. You can go on.
Okay. Thank you. It is a privilege for me to be here, and Moses, I definitely recognize that the moment I see your name, I recognize you, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Okay, now I start my speech. Information is part of an old librarian, which I am now. The collection, the classification, and the presentation thereof comes as an instinct. When I retired, I planned a bookshop here in Betuli, and start to sell books. Soon this bookshop turned into an information office for the town, and I started to collect information to answer those questions I can't remember from my background growing up in Betuli. And you know, we librarians must share information every time. That is part of our makeup. With time, I realized the rich history and also the Anglo-Boer War history of the town. And the collection and documentation process started. I soon realized that all the information can lead to a book. So from 2008, in other words, 2 years after I retired, the book was planned and written and published in 2011. Now, it was a challenge for me to determine the framework thereof. The way to present the information was also a challenge. It could read like a paper or a dissertation, which was second nature for me as an academic librarian. But I decided to write for the average interested reader, and therefore I use photos, statistics, anecdotes, and maps, and also highlight some of relationships in this book. And not just, can you hear me?
Yesterday,
You okay? I just wanted, because it's so silent. To collect this information, I had to use a variety of research methods. My physical field was the whole farming district and the town's hills, the town's buildings, etc. Therefore, I drove and walked around for a long time, more than a year. Therefore, the challenge was to write down the history which happened 100 years ago. And you know, in 100 years, a lot of things happened and changed. Names changed, borders changed, etc. And I have to determine exactly where everything was. So I bought a metal detector and investigate all things and farms which turn out to be on farms, which turn out to be English remnants from the war, like water tanks, like gun barrels, which was used as gate posts, and entrenchments, buildings, etc. I used a lot of photos from archives and to locate and identify events. So you can see I started with a total different book than the one which I had to speak about today. I started with the book Betuli and the Anglo-Boer War. That was my main research. In town, I also found a lot of evidences in church during the war, even the first Union Jack, which was hoisted in the Free State, I found in a church. I also discovered a well, which was used to supply water for the concentration camps inmates. I also discovered a reservoir with 2 horses painted on it, which was for the military camp remount center. This is very similar to Naval Hill's white horses, the typical white horses of that regiment. So I collect information for that book on the Anglo-Boer War in Betuli. But in the meantime, I also search for documentation on Betuli in any archives I can find. I do research in Bloemfontein's archives, in the Boer War Museum, etc. Now, I work very hard because I was not really retired in my mind. I work very disciplined. From 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 at night. As I do not know how much money a publisher will ask me, I did anything for myself. I do my own proofreading, I do the own layout. I have nobody to guide me with this non-academic book. So at the end, I print the book at Xerox in Bloemfontein. I printed initially 200 copies, but at the end I sold more than 800 copies. Now, I realized later on that if you do your own proofreading, you missed a lot of things. I do not see my typing errors, etc. So I'm now busy to revise this book. And I already had, and it is out of print now, but I already had a list of orders. So my first book was published. But in the meantime, the second book, the one you asked me to talk about today, Betuli Onvoortdood, was growing. I choose this title because I really get tired of and bored of writing. So one day I went on a hiking trip and we talked about my book. I said, I will just stop it. Whether it is completed or not, I will just stop it. So the title is Betuli Incompleted. Betuli Onvoortdood. Now the information I gathered was the same process, same tools I used, the same area I do with the first book. At the end, I have boxes full of information and notes and computer files for another book. Now, what must I do with this unrelated lot of information? It was not focused on a theme like Betuli and the Anglo-Boer War. So I decided to do it in two parts. The first part, all in one book, but in two parts. The first part was a historical part of Betuli's growth. The first inhabitants, which was here, which was only San people. There were no whites, no blacks in this area. The second one was the early visitors, like the migrant farmers coming over the border. The third one was the missionaries who started missionary station here under the Bushman people, under the sun. And then the second part of missionaries, which first it was English missionaries and the second was the French missionaries. They brought the whites, the blacks from the north to this part of our country. It was the group, a Sotho group, which called themselves the Batlaping, people of the fish. So he brought 180 black people here. So we can determine exactly who lives here in our area. It was so exciting. And then how the town was growing. And then the Anglo-Boer War, a short chapter on that because I wrote the whole book. And then the influence of the building of the Gariep Dam on this town. And then also our famous and infamous people and other people which was known of. Then I wrote something about the farms and the farmers, businesses. That was my historical part. The rest, now that historical part was about, let me just see, about 150 pages. Then the rest of the book, which was 300 pages, which my 2/3 of it was in an encyclopedic format. So it worked just like encyclopedia. And I covered there anything you can think of about Betuli, even libraries. All the history of the growth of libraries here, the architect, the paleontology, the environment, which was the game reserves, everything you can think of, I tried. Now there is still some shortages which we covered later, but I'm satisfied with how it worked out. I covered 120 subjects. Now, it took me a lot of time, and I've included pictures also in this book. And I think it might be interesting for people. You know, I have stories like how our folk dances, ons volksspelen, started here by a guy who was born here in Betuli. His father was a French missionary, Palacier. His son, his grandson, started Volksbele, and he was born here. Now, I use the same sources for finding documents, but I also added then the National Museum in Bloemfontein. And they also had a wonderful source of information there. And I also meet wonderful people in the process. And I play detective with successful results. So it is a wonderful process to write a book, to see how it is created, to feel how it is created. I really feel privileged to do this. I published this book with Amazon.com and also sell more than 500 copies. But it's also now out of print, and I'm looking forward for a more affordable publisher, because with our bad value of the rand, it cost me a lot of money to publish one book in America. I feel very privileged to do this work. And the results are published because history can't get lost, and it should not be allowed. And I'm glad I was privileged to make this contribution. I must confess, I didn't give copies to the copyright libraries, but with a revision, I will send my 5 copies. And now somebody want to ask questions? That was my story.
Thank you very much, Trudy, for this wonderful book and information that you collected. And then if there is anyone who wants who have some question, please feel free to ask a question. But I just want to ask a question, but my question is not necessarily related with the book. It's necessarily related with the experience that you acquired as a librarian. So my question is, in which case this meeting was for novice librarians, those one who just finished university last year, and now they are starting to work within the profession of library and information science. What is it that you can tell them based on the experience that you acquired? Thank you.
Moses, I think I apply a lot of my experience in a lot of ways. I'm doing now here in Betuli, I'm a tour guide for visitors who come to our town to learn about. And you know, I use the same principles as a librarian. I try to understand their question, I understand their interest, and I take them on a journey. And I hope I supply the correct information. So the information, the ways we would teach to handle information is very, very valuable to me today also. That's what I can say.
All right. Thank you very much, Trudy. Colleagues, do we have anyone who have a question regarding the book that Trudy have written and published? And then my next question, Trudy, you said you sold about 500 copies of your book. Were these books only sold in South Africa or even outside South Africa?
The book, which was published by Amazon, you can order it from them. And I usually bought in bulk and I sell it myself. But all of them are now out of print and I must revise them, you know. So I hope before the end of the year, they will be available again. It's not in bookshops.
Yes. And then my second question, when are you going to publish your 3rd book?
Moses, I'm retired.
You will never retire. Trudy, you will never retire.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do have mental problems after a little stroke, and I forget some of the facts when I took people on tour. So thanks for the books. I said, I just check up. So I'm really grateful that it is a backup, because if you lost your memory, it's gone.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Colleagues, is there any question from the floor to Trudy? Oh, if there's nothing in the chat box, is there anything, Erna? I don't see my chat box here.
No, I don't see any questions there.
Okay. I just want to thank you, Trudy, on that note for actually setting time aside and honoring our invite in the Free State branch of LIASA. Thank you very much for your time. And we want to wish you a good health and a very prosperous years ahead of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Moses, and thank you very much to all the colleagues who are there. It's brilliant work you do. Keep it up and make your contribution.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, now we are moving to item number 8, Erna.
Yes, I just want to ask, before I speak, can you hear the noises in the background here from me or not?
Are you asking me?
Are there no noises, or are you hearing the noises?
I can hear the noises.
Because I tried now to move away. For those of you who don't know, this morning when I arrived at home, at work, I found the front windows of the library smashed in. There was an accident yesterday evening. A drunk driver drove through my windows on the street side. So now they are busy replacing it. So it's a lot of noise, and I was not sure if you can hear it. I moved now to the furthest part in the library to escape the noises. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
Our next meeting is planned for if I remember now the date correctly, the 17th of May. It is a Friday, and we want to celebrate the Free State branch. So be on the lookout. Within the next few days, you will receive the information, or rather the invitation to attend that meeting. It will be a hybrid meeting here in Bloemfontein. The venue, it will be at the UFS library, but it will also be on Zoom. So if you cannot come to Bloemfontein to join, you can also join via Zoom. But as I said, the more detail and the program will be coming to your site within the next few days. Thanks, Moses.
Okay, thank you very much. Colleagues, on that note, we are on item number 9. I want to thank you for your time and thank you for everything. And then enjoy the rest of the day. The meeting is adjourned. Bye.
Thank